Sup flappers, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about Hu Tao. She's coming up very soon. Yes, she's cute, she's strong, she runs a funeral parlor, and she's Zhongli's boss. What's there not to like? Today we're going to be dispelling though some of the misconceptions, and I find it's just overly exaggerated things that either scare off people from pulling Hu Tao or put people off from pairing her with certain units. There are definitely some things that the community has been spreading, which I personally have played Hu Tao since she was released. She has not left my team. I've been running this team comp since Hu Tao's initial release. I ran it all the way until now. I have no problems clearing any content in the game. Nada. Zero. This team was able to smash through all of them, and for those who are wondering, no, my Hu Tao is not C6, no, my weapon is not R5, right? My artifacts are not cracked beyond belief, and I just have Constellation 1, which is also in of itself another misconception, which I will dispel later on in this video. Alright, talents haven't even crowned her. Listen people, it's not rocket science, it's Genshin Impact. So with that said, let's get into the first and probably the one people are already starting pulling their hair out, which is pairing her with Bennett. As you can see, Bennett, my boy here, he's in the team, he is the team's healer. People say don't pair Hu Tao with Bennett, they're terrible together, it ruins her synergy, it's unplayable. Yes, it is apparently unplayable to pair Hu Tao with Bennett, but let me tell you, alright, that's just not true. Now, if you are arguing the efficiency of this pairing, yes, you could say it's inefficient to pair Bennett with Hu Tao. However, in the current state of the game, I do prefer to have that pyro resonance and Bennett to buff other members of my team, such as Ganyu and also Zhongli, because they both have great burst damage potential, and Bennett just goes well with that. But one thing people don't take into consideration is once Hu Tao drops really low, I'm talking 15% HP, right? If you are running this particular team comp or a team comp that can CC the enemies, and you drop Bennett's burst skill, for that brief moment, probably around 2 to 3 seconds, you are not only getting Hu Tao's below 50% HP buff, but you're also getting Bennett's burst buff. Yes, you're not going to be able to sustain it through the entirety of Hu Tao's elemental skill, but for that brief moment, you are a literal god. It doesn't matter who you're facing, you are dealing an insane amount of damage in that window. And oftentimes, I like to reserve that for my burst skill, which, you know, it's just for that window anyways. And once that is done and over with, I'm still getting Bennett's attack buff. But yes, I do lose out on Hu Tao's sub 50% HP buff. And when running that with the Staff of Homa, it does add up and it hurts quite a bit. However, I found that it doesn't really matter too much, and that if you want to run this team with Bennett, it just gives you so much more survivability and assurance that if you are not wanting to pull Hu Tao simply because you think Hu Tao doesn't work with Bennett whatsoever, don't let that discourage you. Alright? Going forward, number 4 is animation canceling is a must on Hu Tao. But this is another tricky one, because if you want to be optimal, if you want to play her to her full capability, yes, animation canceling is going to be necessary, but is this saying that, well, if you don't animation cancel on Hu Tao, she is unplayable, she is not a top DPS? No, she is still going to be a premier DPS, one of the best in the game, even if you don't animation cancel. She's just that good. Pair her with Xingqiu, pair her with Ganyu, pair her even with frickin' Tartaglia. Not optimal. Again, not optimal, but she still slaps. She's still really strong. It's just built into her kit, people. Hu Tao by nature is a strong unit. Doesn't matter if you know how to animation cancel, if you don't know how to animation cancel. It would be nice if you start learning it if you truly want to become a better Hu Tao player though. It definitely ups her DPS ceiling and pushes her even further up on the DPS tier list. Now, there are two types of animation cancel: jump cancel, dash cancel. If you don't have C1, likely you're going to be focusing more on jump cancel, which is the more tedious one. But if you have that extra primo gems to drop, get that C1, and Hu Tao's dash cancel is some of the best and most fluid animation cancel in the game currently, I feel, and it also adds a certain value of mobility, which can help you dodge lethal attacks as well. So animation cancel, not a must, but great if you want to maximize this unit. Gives her a little more depth to say. Now, number 3 is it's hard to manage her HP. I'm going to be quite honest with you, if you truly care about min-maxing, Hu Tao is definitely that character that can make you work your butt off to get that extra big PP damage number. However, like I keep reiterating, all of this stuff is not a necessity. It's not important to say, well, she has to always be below 50% or else she's just trash. She is not as good when above 50%, yes, but if you're saying, can I clear all the content in the game with Hu Tao while she's above 50% HP? Absolutely. You can still 9-star the Abyss. She can still hard carry you even above 50% with a free-to-play weapon at C0. Hu Tao is broken. Yes, she is the top DPS for a reason. Below 50%, it's quite excessive amounts of damage. That's when you're going to be getting the 50-60k per charge attack and getting up to the 200k per burst skill range, right? So do you need that much damage? Likely not, but it's good to know that there's always that option if you're willing to take that extra step. Now, going off of this point is number 2 is also related to her HP. So if you are going to be pairing the Staff of Homa with Hu Tao, it does hurt a bit more because Staff of Homa has its skill activated below 50% HP as well. So if you have Hu Tao running the Staff of Homa and you keep her above 50% HP for the most of the duration while you're playing her, you are going to be missing on a huge chunk of damage from her kit and from the weapon. So of course that is very suboptimal. If you're running just a free-to-play weapon and you keep Hu Tao above 50% HP, it's not going to hurt you as much. But if you're dropping that extra money, dropping that hard-earned cash on your Staff of Homa, and you're also keeping her above 50% HP, then you might start to question, well, why did I even bother getting the Staff of Homa? Yeah, it's a great stat stick, but you're missing out on 50% of its effectiveness, all right? So definitely think before you pick up the Staff of Homa. Try out Hu Tao. Are you able to get used to managing her HP? Or are you willing to put in the time or build a team around this kind of handicap that is being put on this unit? Okay, finally, number 1. And that is C1 is a big damage boost. Okay, I've seen people throw this one. Oh, go get Hu Tao C1. It's going to change everything for her. But they don't really say why. C1 Hu Tao is basically giving Hu Tao more tools to do damage. It gives her more resources to use her charge attack, to fit more combos, to eradicate the need for jump canceling, which is a pain in the ass sometimes, but adds more mobility because of dash canceling. I mentioned dash canceling earlier. It's a great tool for Hu Tao because not only you get to end that animation earlier, you also get to choose the direction you want to dash, and you can dash left, right, back. You can even dash forward if you want. You have that option. It's actually going to add way more to Hu Tao's gameplay, and it adds to her survivability as well, especially for players who are hyper aware of their surrounding and veteran players who understand how mobs attack patterns of bosses and whatnot. It can save your skin more times than you can count. It's not just a utility feature, it is a damage boost feature. If you can master the animation canceling, if you are sucky with your animation canceling, you're not going to feel it as much. You can get more dashes in, but the time frame of her elemental skill stays the same. So it's really up to the player's skill to make the best use of Constellation 1. It's not just gonna slap on some big damage number for you. It doesn't work that way. Get C1 if you are truly Hu Tao main, all right? If you truly want the full Hu Tao experience, go for it. I would recommend C1 over Staff of Homa, but if you have more questions regarding the C1 versus Staff of Homa conundrum, I do have a video already made answering that. Okay, with that said, thank you guys for watching, and I wish you guys luck on your Hu Tao summons. So until the next video, urge you all to stay safe. Peace.